Aloha, nirashaimase. Welcome to Sup-Sapporo, Dosanko Live. This is Chad and Jamie hanging in Sapporo, Japan. Thanks for joining us. If you're back and like what you heard, please support us and hit that subscribe button. Mahalo.
Okay.
All right. Okay, episode 22. 22. 222.
All right. So today we have a special guest, originally from Hilo, Hawaii, now living in Fukuoka. Anayah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's nice to talk to you again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, definitely. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Do a little self-introduction about yourself, where you're from, where you went to school, or where you're
Your
at right now?
hobbies, favorite color.
Oh, intro just like with my classes now.
Yeah, exactly. Stand up and tell the class about yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, like Jamie said, I'm from Hilo. I'm actually Jamie's kohai. We're from the same university. And so I studied linguistics and English teaching in college. And last year I moved to Fukuoka to be an English teacher with the JET program.
Nice.
But before that, during college, I studied for a year in Sapporo at Hokkaido University and really enjoyed it. Got to hang out with Jamie. So that was fun. Yeah, I love it here in Fukuoka. I really, really love it. But I also really love Sapporo. So I got to get back there and play in the snow sometime. So.
Oh, yeah. So opposite, huh? Down there. It's a little toasty down there.
It is. It's the one thing I hate about Fukuoka. The people are so nice, but in the summer, it's like there's a few days where the humidity gets up to like 93%.
What? Wow.
Yeah,
swimming on land.
Basically, yeah. It's like your body starts like you start breathing weird because your body thinks you're drowning, basically, and then it sucks.
Wow, that's crazy. It's just as bad as Tokyo.
Yes, it's nasty, but now it's getting nice and cool for the autumn, so now it's not so bad. But yeah, summer's terrible.
All right.
So before we continue, shall we break out the alcohol and do a little compound?
Yes.
All right, got my
Bukaizake.
What are you drinking?
I have Kahlua and milk today.
Oh, nice.
And milk.
Kampai.
Yes.
Kampai.
Ta-da.
Hey.
Oh, nice. So, did you live your whole childhood in Hilo, or did you live anywhere else?
Yep. Whole childhood in Hilo. Actually, I grew up in a sugarcane plantation right above Hilo, and that was really, I guess, a unique experience because it's the same plantation my great-grandparents moved to when they came from Hiroshima. Of course, that was like 100 years ago, but so I kind of got to be around like the same families my parents and grandparents grew up with and enjoy some things like karaoke or obon and things like that with them. So that was really fun.
Nice. Where was that in Hilo? Where was that?
Up above the hospital. So it's called Pi'i Honua. Oh,
Pi'i Honua? You grew up over there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Did you grow up past the waterfall all the way up in the...
Yeah, basically all the way up to where the road ends. So
you can just say above the hospital, like, is there just one hospital?
Yeah, it's Hilo, dude.
There's no other.
There's one thing of everything.
I'm sorry, I don't know the Big Island that much, so dude, you guys just have the hospital.
Yeah, the hospital. We don't say the hospital or the white church. Everyone knows where that is or something, right?
And Hilo also, I think the whole Big Island maybe has one escalator. So, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
that's a lie, right?
Airport.
Man, you guys' airport is outside.
Yeah. Actually, I think before the first escalator was where McDonald's was. The original
Really?
McDonald's. Yeah, I think there was the first Escalade. I'm not sure. I have to
I
double
think
check
my mom
that.
told me about that. It's like back before I was born, I think. She said there used to be one, then they tore it down. And
Yeah.
And then they built another one. So you
Nope. Just
here's a funny story. So here's a funny story about Pihinoa, just to throw you off a little bit. So I used to go swimming. You know when you cross the bridge to go to Pihinoa, there's on the left hand side there's a little island and there's like two waterfalls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got thrown off the second waterfall. I fell off that waterfall.
What?
Yeah. I was spearing prawns with my friends and we were dumb. We were looking at we didn't look at the mountain. It was raining and it was like overflowing. So I started swimming across the little thing to the lake in my pants. I had like army pants and a spear and got thrown over the waterfall.
Oh my god.
Lucky I landed right in the middle.
Was there a flash flood that pushed you out, or?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
What?
I got thrown over the waterfall and it landed right in the middle, right in between the two rocks. There's a bunch of rocks.
Oh yeah, there's like that one little space.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
you're
one
lucky.
little space. Yeah, exactly. I landed right in there, and then my back was traumatized. I had to crawl out of the ravine with my back all messed up.
Oh boy.
Bruh,
How
you're
old are
lucky.
you?
Yeah, my friends thought I died because they saw my slippers floating on the river. They're like, "Oh my god, he was all right too. How did I get home?"
Oh no.
Yeah, no one cares about your life. How are we gonna get home?
Yeah, how am I gonna get home?
That's
that falls. When I was small kid time, I used to swim all the time and stuff, but my parents would never let me go to the falls because they're like, "Oh, you're gonna die. I know
you're gonna die."
That actually, that falls area, that area, the whole river is kind of dangerous. There's lots of undertows. One of my classmates died. He died in there. I know, like people die there every year, like boiling pots, right?
What is that? It's a fall into a lake, or
well, there's a bunch of waterfalls that lead into like the ocean, and then basically ocean? There's all these undercurrents. There's a river, so there's a river, and then there's waterfalls. So people swim in the rivers, but like there's these undertows that pull people in the.
They have undertows in the river.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because there's what you call there's lava tubes. There's underwater lava tubes,
so people get sucked in.
Yeah, so I actually know a lady. I think she was in her 50s, maybe. She was like a like paddleboard and water, like scuba diving instructor and all that. But one day she was kayaking, and I guess there was a flash flood or something. Yeah. And she went down, and they couldn't find her. But the rescue crew said, it's no point. We're just gonna wait because there's all those lava tubes. So usually, if someone goes down, they don't see them. They just have to. Have to wait till they come back out of the lava tube, and it can be months. So,
yeah. Did that lady ever pop back out, or?
I think she did, but it was like months and months later. So
wow.
In fact, I know that river. What's that river called?
Wailuku.
Wailuku, yeah.
Also known as, was it the waters of destruction in Hawaii?
Yeah, waters of death. And I used to hear like people talking about like vampires and monsters living in the river because people get pulled under. So yeah,
it's not the Filipino mermaids.
I've never heard that one. I did hear there's like a Hawaiian myth of like a dragon that lives there, and Maui had to save his mom from the dragon or something. I don't know. But...
Interesting. I heard many different things. I heard vampires live in there. I heard monsters. I heard like.
I mean, your first hint would be like what was it called? The River of Death.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, why would you want to swim in that?
Hey, let's go to the River of Death. It's hot outside.
Don't swim in there. Do they have signs now? Or
they put up signs. Well, actually, they did when I was. Oh shit, it was a long time ago now, but it feels recent. I think I was about maybe like 16 when they finally put up signs.
Yeah.
And it was because a kid was being stupid and like standing on the rail and fell in and ended up in a wheelchair, I think.
Oh, wow.
So,
that's a hard lesson.
Kids drinking and stuff.
Yep.
Morbid start to the podcast. I'm sorry.
That could have been me.
Well, the fact that anyone that honestly, if you grow up in Hilo, and the fact that you can make it toward to 18 without any major like injuries is an amazing thing because it's boring over there. So there's nothing to do, right? So Hey, let's go swim in the river of death, right?
Oh, speaking
And
of
drink.
like risking your life, did I ever tell you the story of because up in Pihonua there's a lot of wild boar hunting, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of wild boars. So did I ever tell you the story of when I got chased by one?
No, tell us. Hilo mishaps here. Hilo hijinks.
Good memories. Well, not at the time, but yeah. So, my neighborhood is like way up in the cane fields. Like, if you get up past the waterfalls and everything, it just tops out and it's just fields and it just looks like you're in the middle of nowhere. So one day my sister and I were out walking and far away we saw this huge mother boar. And she must have been, well, let's see, I was about the same height then as I am now. She was about up to my waist. So I don't know, up to my waist, the back, really big. So she must have been like, 200 pounds, I would guess.
Yeah.
But it was far away, but we were wondering like, why is she out on the paved road? Like, they don't come out usually, not like right there. So we were kind of looking and like keeping our distance, but what we didn't realize was that she had babies that were right nearby.
Yeah.
So we started hearing noises like in the bushes next to us, and then we look up and we're like, oh shit, there's the pigs, there's the babies. And so then she got pissed and kind of went for us. So we were running and like trying to run up the street to get back to the neighbors, but we were on the stretch where there's no houses. So and it was all, how it is, it's like straight uphill.
Yep.
So we're just running and running, and my sister, I'm the oldest, so she's a little bit younger. She's running and she's passing me, and I'm telling her, go, 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 go. And she was getting all worried, and she looked back and she said, every time I looked back at the pig, it would slow down a little bit, but every time I turned to run, then she'd get mad and run faster. So my sister was telling me, she's gonna get you, I don't want to leave you, because I mean, funny story if you're not from Hilo, but but if you know those wild boars, like they'll basically like kind of if they get hold of you, they're like a wild dog or something.
Yeah, they're gonna rip
like
you
they
apart.
kill dogs. They go for your stomach and just So my sister was like saying, I don't want to leave you, and I was yelling at her like, just keep running. I know I'm slow and fat. You just keep running. But then she started getting really scared because I'm running and this pig is slowly catching up. And at some point I just thought, how is this gonna look for my parents? Like, how is it gonna be like there's tsunamis, there's earthquakes, there's war, and they're gonna have to stand at my funeral and be like, yeah, our oldest child that we brought into the world was killed by a fat pig. So I'm running thinking I'm about to die, but then I start thinking too much about that and I started laughing and like screaming and laughing, and my sister was looking at me like, oh, she lost her mind already, she's gonna die, look at her laughing.
You're just laughing.
So we're just what? At that point I gave up. I was like, okay, what a stupid
whatever
ending.
happens, just whatever happens.
This is how it all ends. Death by pig.
I'm gonna go laughing.
So how did you shake the pig? Like, what did you do?
Well, thankfully, one of our neighbors came. She was driving up from behind, but from the direction of the pig. So she has this huge SUV. So she pulls up kind of even with the pig, and it runs over a little bit on the side of the road. And so she stops her car. She stopped it between us and the pig, and she was looking around like, what's going on? So then my sister's trying to get in the car and like pulling at the handles and like knocking and like, please let me in. And the damn pig went around the car and kept chasing. Wow. So we made a mistake that day. But so anyway, luckily that slowed it down just enough that our brother, who was up near the houses playing, was able to see what was happening and see it go around the car and see my sister and I running. So he ran and knocked on our neighbor's door, and our neighbor was a big time pig hunter.
Oh,
so
nice.
he knocked on the door. It's like, uncle, there's a pig out here. It's getting my sisters. Come on, help. So this uncle comes running out of the house in nothing but his boxers with a bottle of beer. And he looks down the road like, yep. So he looks down the road like, oh shit. So he got on his 4-wheeler and got like, I don't know, a rifle or something. And came flying out there. So we didn't know what was happening. All we know is all of a sudden he shows up drunk on this 4-wheeler with a rifle blasting.
The Hilo hero.
Yeah, the Hilo hero. Did he get the pig?
Yeah.
No.
No? What?
That stupid pig was not afraid of SUVs. It wasn't afraid of nothing until it saw his gun, and then it turned and left.
Oh, it knows
So
what
he
the
went
gun
home and
was.
pissed. Yeah, it knew the gun. So I don't know. I guess it worried about that. But
Why
So
didn't
then
the
he just
lady
turned
driving let you in the car?
I don't know. I think she was freaking out because her kids were in the car.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah. So that was
Ah.
a fun day. We're
It
just
would have
running
been
and we don't know.
so much better if you got to eat it, though.
I know. Yeah.
You'd be like, "Fuck you, pig. It tastes good."
Yeah.
Who's eating who now?
One, so,
Who
yeah.
won this? Who's eating who?
Yeah, for real.
So
Oh, that's
wait, I
crazy.
forgot. What were you doing in the beginning? Did you say you were
We're just
hunting?
out.
Oh,
We were just out on a walk, just on the
I
main
see.
road. Well, the one paved road, but yeah.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea, so when you're living in Hilo, like especially in Inaka places, there's nothing to do. So you can like walk around. I mean, you have to take a car to get into town. So if in Pi'ihonua is like maybe about by car, maybe like 15 minutes from Hilo, 10 minutes from Hilo. But when
if
you're
you
up
walk to
this
Hilo,
road,
it's an all day.
yeah, it's like there's nothing to do. So you just walk around and there's nature and basically the back of Pi'ihonua is a forest. Yeah, so like you're this like little subdivision. I mean little, and then at the back of it is a whole forest. I mean, there's like wild animals, goats and like boars and all kinds of stuff out there. So
Yeah. So basically, all we do for entertainment was just, go out in the river, go out in the forest, or just
play nature.
get a big machete and cut down sugarcane and eat them. So
Yeah,
it was fun though.
Damn,
because the tourists
forgot about that.
The tourists would always get lost because they would see Mauna Kea, or they would look at their map and it would say Kona's on the other side. So they're like, oh, we'll just go right over the middle. So they used to come and get stuck up there and just be in the middle of nowhere. And then they'd see me and my siblings out there. Like I'd come walking up with like my little brother on my back, and I have a machete and the big hat because I'm out cutting sugarcane. And they just look, what planet did we land on? And I just look at them like, can I help you?
Where are you going? You're not from these parts, are you?
Yeah.
So how many of these tourists were Japanese?
Not too many. I remember a few. Mostly I remember like only mainland tourists though, with like weird questions. Like they'd come up and we're on the side of a mountain. They're like, is the beach up ahead? Or
You'd be like, yeah, just keep going, go up the mountain.
Yeah. You see that dirt road over there? You see that dirt road? Turn off your lights. Make sure you turn off. You got to give me your money though. I got to hold on to your money because the spirits are going to grab you. So drive down that road.
Uncle come out, then he's your tour guide. I promise.
This is a toll road.
Yeah.
You gotta take the Hilo hero, guide him to the beach up the mountain.
Sometimes we try to talk to him, but sometimes it just didn't work. Like they're like, "Where's Waikiki?" And I'd be like, "You're on the wrong island," and they get pissed at me. And I'd be like, "You're on the wrong island."
Question?
Yeah,
did you get that question?
Twice.
Really?
And were they really angry?
Oh yeah, they're pissed. They're like, "We were told it's in Hawaii, and we're in Hawaii." Like, yeah, Hawaii State. It's not Hawaii Island that it's on. They're like, "Oh well, now I have to go all the way back to the airport." It's like, that's too bad. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm out here with my machete, minding my own business.
Yeah.
Man, that's pretty nice. So you just stayed in the mountain, just like messing around in the fields.
Pretty much.
Plantation fields.
That's what people do, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another reason why.
Wait, was this like was this for work, or was it just like your family garden or something?
It was just
sugarcane?
the kids just going out and looking.
Oh,
for
you
something
just
to do.
play?
Yeah, dude. What are you talking about? Like, if you live in a country place like that, you just go out and play in the field, dude. Like, you don't know who owns it or whatever. You just go in the back and play in the forest.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And as soon as we're old enough to have knives, it's like we always had a machete on us because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, now I'm so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, cutting sugar cane and like you go and find wild fruit and
Man,
stuff. And
sounds
go
like the
cruise.
Philippines.
Yeah, very
Pretty
much.
much. Well,
And
yeah, pretty
chickens
much.
everywhere, and yeah.
Chicken. Well, I grew up around chickens anyway. There's a lot of chickens. I actually blocked them out of my mind. I don't
Those
notice
chicken
them
fights-
until
those chicken
someone
fights
comes.
gave you like bad memories.
Not bad, man. They're some of the best memories.
Wait, so where did you grow up, Chad?
I grew up on Oahu in Kalihi. I don't know. Do you know?
Okay.
Do you know Oahu at all? Like
No.
no.
I'm
Me too.
sorry, I
Me too. I'm
don't.
like Kalihi.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty well. When I was growing up, it was predominantly Filipinos. There are a lot of Filipinos and Samoans. A lot. And then there's a few like Japanese. And actually there were Laotians and some Thai, Vietnamese. It was kind of mixed, but it was kind of a tough neighborhood. So there was a kind of reputation to it. Like, oh, you're from Kalihi. I'm sorry.
You're from Kalihi. That means you can punch through concrete.
Yeah.
Oh, so Oahu's Waipahu then, maybe?
It was a kind of Waipahu. So you know Waipahu? It's almost the same thing.
Well, I think we have,
It's also with a K too.
kind of. I think, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't
a
know
lot of
much about
Filipinos
it.
there.
I didn't really leave the plantation much when I was a kid, so.
I didn't leave the plantation. Wait,
Well, I
is
was
your house?
homeschooled.
Oh, you're a homeschool. So you're a smart one.
Oh, you're homeschooled?
Yeah, I was.
Damn. So like you really didn't leave that place that much, huh?
Nope.
Oh wow.
Every homeschool person I met is super smart. Like,
Well, you got to
Crazy.
listen, right? Mom's gonna beat your ass. You don't do your homework, right?
true.
Really,
And then if you're
though?
the oldest, you're also teaching the younger ones, which
Yeah.
was kind of what I was doing. But also, it depends. I mean, like, my mom is really good with languages, but
Oh,
she's
nice.
not really good with math. And my dad just didn't have the patience to like teach me math. So I'm not good with math, but my mom is kind of why I'm an English teacher now, because she really
Oh, nice.
instilled that.
Nice.
Yeah.
well,
that
you're
young
half
lady.
Asian, right?
Yeah, half.
Yeah, that's why you didn't get the math part.
Yeah.
Me
I
too.
didn't get the math part.
I missed the math part too.
You
The
got
math
the
and science. The
linguistics
math
part.
and science part. Nope. I got that, man.
Yep. Nope.
Eh,
So I actually have a question for you. So of course you being half Japanese. So what kind of like was there anything that kind of sparked your interest in Japanese culture and Japanese language?
That's an interesting story because I grew up around it.
Yeah.
But being in the plantation and everything, I saw it very much as like a grandpa and grandma kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I saw it as like a very, what do you say? Like a very dignified and old-fashioned thing, but also really boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then when I was about in high school, then all of a sudden, all the other kids I know are crazy into anime and manga. And I was so confused because it's like, why do you think this is cool? To me, this is just like an old people culture, I grew up with it, but I never really saw it as like modern and cool.
Yeah.
mm.
So that kind of got me really curious to be like, okay, what, why, I guess New Japan is different from old Japan. Like there's, I guess it kind of opened up my mind to realize that, there's a lot of history there, not just the little bit I know, but there's a modern world, there's a whole other. So, so that kind of got me into being more interested. And then I started talking with my grandma more and learning more about our family history and all that. So, so mostly my interest came from like getting a taste of it growing up and really wanting to understand it fully instead of seeing it as like just this background noise kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. I'm kind of in the same boat also too. So my grandparents spoke Japanese and English also too, but they were,
Mm.
you know, they mainly spoke English, but they could speak Japanese because of their parents. So.
Mm-hmm.
So you could, did they speak to you in Japanese while you're growing up, or did they just solely speak to you in English?
Little bit. So my great grandparents were from Japan, and like my great grandpa never learned to speak English at all.
Wow.
Like he didn't want to. He didn't care.
He didn't need it.
Yeah. He grew up. He was living in the plantation, everything, so everybody could understand each other. And then my grandparents, did the pidgin and Japanese, and then my dad and his siblings, like their family kind of tried to make them take Japanese school and like keep it alive, but they just weren't interested. So basically it kind of skipped a generation. So I'm the first one of my family's generation that's actually learning to speak it and everything. So I always like to give my dad a little bit crap, like just joke with him, like, oh, I could have grown up speaking this, but you ran away from school to play with a machete in the woods.
Awesome.
So your siblings don't speak at all, or just a little?
I mean, just a little bit that our dad would use, and it was mostly like jokes or slang or like all the bad words.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're Sansei then, yeah? You're
Yonsei.
Yonsei.
Oh, okay, me too.
Great
Yonsei
grand.
too.
You're Yonsei.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What am I?
Yeah.
1, 2. Oh, I'm third generation.
Sanbalot.
Yeah, my grandparents came here. I don't even know what my sanbalot. Did you say that?
Sanbalot.
It's a balut.
Balot rice.
Yeah. All right. So, how did you end up in Japan? Was it just from school?
That's a good
just
question.
from that education, the exchange program or something?
Well, when I got to be about high school age, I decided I really wanted to come here someday, at least temporarily, just to kind of connect with my roots and like more deeply understand the culture and its context, I guess. So when I started college, one of the first things I did was study beginner's level Japanese. And I think Jamie, I think you probably will know who I'm talking about, but my advisor is Ohara sensei.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes. So she and Dr. Honda at Hilo both kind of like were bugging at me. They're like, hey, you should try study abroad. They kept pushing at me like, oh, you can afford it. There's all these scholarships. You should try it. You should think about it. So, at the time I was really broke and really nervous. Like, I don't think I can do this, but they kept bugging me and saying, give yourself a chance. You're smart enough to do it. You should try.
Yeah.
So, basically Dr. Ohara told me that I'd have a really good chance of studying in Hokkaido because it's cold and nobody wants to go.
Yep.
Which I was like, it's one of the snowiest places in the world. How is everybody not fighting over it? I mean,
exactly.
It's a novelty, right?
Yeah.
For Hilo people. So I was really excited, and I said, okay, I'll try to apply and see how it works out, if I can get the scholarships, and also I wanted to try it because I was at that point. She'd also told me about the JET program, and she said, if you really like it there, it's a great way to use your linguistics training, and so just think about it. So basically I took her advice and was able to come to Hokkaido, and kind of the rest is history.
Nice.
Yeah,
so you were involved in the Who Step program, right?
Yes.
And were you there for a year?
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay.
Is that the one James was in?
No, that's the one I was actually in. James was
you were in.
He was in the Japanese intensive Japanese program, I think it was called.
Oh yeah, that one's super tough.
Yeah, that one's tough. They compress like 2 years of Japanese or 1 year Japanese into 6 weeks or something like that.
Really?
It's pretty intense. Yeah, it's crazy. But Who Step was actually a really, really nice program. It's organized Mr. Fakola from Hokkaido University, who's a wonderful, wonderful, supportive guy. Super nice guy.
Yeah, he's super nice.
And then they provide this 1-year program for students to come and basically learn Japanese and take a variety of different subjects, ranging from politics to work towards culture and basically anything. For me personally, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. They provided lots of tours and cultural exchange things. We went on I personally went on a tour to Ainu Dam, and then we went to Zenzemi, which was really cool. Like, what kind of things did you do during your year over here?
So I went on an Ainu culture trip, which was like an overnight thing way in the interior of Hokkaido.
Oh, nice.
So kind of like in the middle of nowhere. So we got to go there and meet Ainu folks.
What place was it? Do you know? Do you remember the area name?
I'm forgetting now.
Upapoi?
Maybe. Maybe, I don't remember now, but was it something with an H, maybe? I don't remember now.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
There's a dam area with a small museum. Upapoi is like the big place with the Ainu museum.
They just like renovated that place, the Upapoi. It's like a hotspot for the elementary school kids now. They go there for a field trip.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I went on a culture trip and then also another trip to the museum. So I think in that area. And what else did I do? Other than that, I mostly was around Sapporo because I was really nervous about traveling. I had never seen a train before. I had never seen a subway before.
You never have a train on your plantation.
Nope.
The train stopped like 60 years ago, bro.
So you saw the train tracks then?
No, but this is funny.
Tracks.
But they had a like a train stop that they saved and turned into a bus stop. So it's just in the middle of nowhere. You just see this random ass building that's just like.
Right, Hilo is so ghetto. I thought my place was ghetto.
Nope.
Yeah, there's just a sign that says Pihonoa train stop, and it's like it's just a bus stop.
Yeah,
that's a trip. You know what? You put a stamp station there, you can attract so many Japanese.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
That shit. I don't know why, man.
Whoever's listening to this podcast, dude, you should do it.
Yeah, I don't know if you know about they have like the Oji-san Hanko. Do you know about that?
I don't think so.
Well, basically on Hokkaido, they chose like these really small towns, like in the middle of nowhere towns, and then they just took some regular old man, and then they turned him into a Hanko. He's just like a regular old man, and they call him the Oji-san Hanko. I think there's like 13 of them. And you can, collect these.
You too can collect the Ojima Hanko. Collect them all.
And they're like in these really small towns. They're like 3,000 people or less towns.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I was thinking we should start that with Gaijin.
Too.
Let's do a Gaijin Hanko, like a Gaijin Hanko hunt.
That would be fun.
Yeah, let's do it. Like a Hawaii version. Like let's collect all the Hawaii people and just make Hankos of ourselves. Bro,
actually, though, on a more serious note, my neighborhood up in Pihonoa has a kaikan. So we have a culture center that has like pictures and newspaper articles and all kinds of framed stuff from. Yeah. So we have like a culture center building, and I haven't been back for a long time, but I've always thought that if we could get some people that are really interested, like maybe some younger people too that have more like energy to do it.
Yeah.
I really think if we were able to open it up for a couple days a week, people would find it really interesting, especially Japanese tourists, because it goes all into like where the families are from and
that's cool.
All kinds of stuff. So
Sup-Sapporo Dosanko life. All right, let's go.
Do it.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Okay. So let's try this. Are you about to have a blackout there? Is a typhoon
No,
coming?
I kicked my lamp by accident, but it's okay now.
Oh, so sensitive. The light there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So we do this or that now. So you
This
got
or
to pick
that.
one. Just pick one. Okay. We just ask you a question and choose between two
Yeah,
things.
it's a few questions. So
Okay.
miso ramen, shoyu ramen, or shio ramen?
Miso ramen for sure.
Yay.
Yay.
Wow. You have a favorite shop or? know?
Not really. Mostly I just would go wherever my friends thought was good, so I don't remember.
In
Or I make it
Hokkaido?
home. Yeah. But yeah, often I make it at home, so
Oh, nice.
Oh, you make
down
it.
here I can't find it, so gotta make them at home.
Really can't find miso ramen over there?
Not as easy. Not as easy.
Oh.
I
I
Wait,
think there's
when,
a
you,
few
when you
places
say make it, are you talking about like the instant kind?
So I have some instant packs, but I usually use the paste. So just mix the
Ah.
paste with the katsuo dashi.
So you are making your own. You're not
Yeah,
just
kinda.
using the like
Nice.
Sapporo Ichiban. Or,
Yeah. Gotta use the
Alright.
fresh noodles, yeah.
Saimen or ramen?
Ooh. Probably ramen, I think.
Next one. Basashi, torisashi, or some kujira sashimi?
I can't remember what any of those are right now.
You can't remember which one you like? Or
Wait, can you
don't?
say it one more time?
Yeah.
Basashi, torisashi, kujira sashimi.
Oh. Not sure. Not sure.
You don't know? Have you tried any of them? Like the raw horse, the raw chicken,
I
or
don't think so.
some raw whale?
No. Oh, I have
Oh,
tried. I've tried raw chicken, but that's the only one.
That's the
I
only
haven't
one you
tried
tried.
others yet.
Bro,
Oh,
where are
yeah.
you living? Aren't you in Kyushu?
Yeah, Kyushu's like
Yes.
What the hell are you doing, man?
horse
Eat some
sushi.
horse.
Horse sushi. Like
God.
awesome place.
Well, I have seen whale. But I haven't ever eaten that yet. I'm
Nah, that's
still
a
not sure.
slippery
Like,
slope.
yeah, I feel like I would feel bad about it, but it's also like one of those things. Maybe you want to try once. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah,
I tried whale. It's actually pretty good.
It's delicious.
Really, because it looks so like tough and like.
No,
Right.
it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it
It's
depends
actually-
what cut though. What cut
Yeah.
did she see? It might be.
It's,
So how was your
kind
cut?
of fatty? It's
Yeah,
all right.
you had a fatty one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Like,
fatty one's
good.
probably better.
They have like a bacon looking one, and then one it kind of looks like a really red tuna. But once you
yeah, I've seen both of them. There's a port city here that has a lot of seafood, like fugu and all that. So
just be careful if you post it on Instagram, you're gonna get a lot of blowback.
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
Hate comments.
Yeah.
The horse one too. I've heard the horse one is good though.
Horse
It
is-
is.
I've heard
Matt,
they're
you're
all
in
good.
Kyushu. Oh my god. I'm so jealous right now.
Yeah, you gotta
I
have
didn't
like
know
the
that's a Kyushu thing. I've seen it in Hiroshima, but
motsunabe and basashi. You gotta have. They start. Sometimes serve it as a meal together over there.
Okay, next.
okay.
Moss Burger or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
American McDonald's or Japanese McDonald's?
I like the Japanese one. I think
Yeah.
they have
What's
some really
the
interesting.
difference?
There's not much difference
Service.
except and then the Japanese one has a lot of interesting seasonal stuff too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Your camera's gone, guy.
Yeah. Let me see.
All right. It's funny, like in Japan, all the obachans working at the McDonald's, either it's like some not high school, maybe college students, I don't know, but their majority is like older people. And I don't know in the US, or when I was in high school, the US, it was mostly like younger people. Maybe the managers were older. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange, but I do like Japan too. It's so much neater. It's neat
Mhm.
here, and it's not
Yeah.
smashed. I don't
Yeah.
understand. All right. Next one.
I'm still here.
Matcha or mugicha?
Oh, that's a really hard one. Can I say both? I like mugicha in the summer, but I like matcha lattes a lot. So
Oh
maybe
yeah.
matcha. Maybe matcha.
Maybe matcha. Matcha latte.
Yeah.
Oh.
Matcha latte is good. Like I've had the straight stuff. Like I tried tea ceremony for a little while in
Yep.
Hilo. And it's good, but boy, you get such a caffeine rush when you have like the real stuff.
It's pretty strong, yeah.
That's what I
It's
live
pretty
for.
strong.
Any type of
True, though.
rush, anything that changes my biology.
It doesn't give you a crash like coffee though, so that's a really good thing.
Yeah. Coffee, you gotta just keep drinking it.
Mhm.
I think I might have gotten used to coffee though. I drink coffee before I sleep sometimes.
You drink
Me
coffee
too.
before you go to sleep? What?
I have my drink and I have my coffee right here. So.
Nice.
Oh, wow. You guys are hardcore.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm
back in,
addicted to all kinds of stimulants.
Back in Hokkaido University, the minimum classes you got to take is like 7 for your visa, right? So
Yeah.
7.
I used to make yes.
How long are these classes? 50 minutes or?
About like an hour and a half, I think, but you meet once a week. So each class is technically like 2 credits. So that's why they say, oh, you need tons. But yeah, so there was a ton of classes and a ton of reading. So I used to put on a pot of coffee at like 9 p.m. and just drink until like 2 a.m. just drinking coffee and studying. So I burned out my brain on it.
That's the Japanese style. That's how you got to do it in Japan. God.
Yep.
Hey, Jamie, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right.
It just, for some reason, I rebooted and stuff. It's still not coming up. So
should I carry on?
Oh, shit.
Let me see. I'm trying to reboot.
I'll put like a picture on here when I make the video.
Right.
It's a little animation.
Holding a beer or something.
Tokyo or Osaka?
I have not been to Osaka actually.
Oh,
not
make
yet.
it on your
not
list.
Yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I really want to. So I've been to Sapporo, Tokyo, Hiroshima City, Fukuoka City, Oita a little bit, and then Nagasaki. So
do you have relatives there in Hiroshima? Earlier you said that your great grandparents came from Hiroshima. So did you
actually
get to meet any
that
of them?
is something I'm trying to find out. So the thing my grandma told me before I left was that our family's from Hiroshima City. And so because of that, she doesn't think anyone probably made it out of the big disaster there.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's, it's not something she ever talks about. But the one time she talked to me about it, she said, there's nobody there. There's no point. It's like, there's nobody there.
Really?
Yeah. But recently, like right before I moved here, actually, we found our family genealogy, which had been missing for I don't know how long. So now we have a list of names, and it's like all the families my family intermarried with and everything. So
oh wow.
While I'm here, one of my projects is actually to try to go back to Hiroshima and see if there is anyone, because it's a big list of names. So
yeah.
Where'd you get this list? Facebook?
From my family, I think my
from Facebook.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
They spag on everything. Fuck, I don't know, but
yeah, the Zuck just he gave me some data.
Yeah, Zuckerberg had it. He's sleeping under his pillow all this time.
I just had to. I couldn't. But so you got this list from your family, this genealogy?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I think they made the list back when I was like a toddler or something. So they have it going back a few generations in Hiroshima. So hopefully, of course, they wrote it down in English, so I don't have any of the kanji. So that's going to be interesting.
Oh,
that's going to be hard. But you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know that Japanese show like Why Did You Come to Japan?
Yeah, I think I've heard of it. They interview
like-
people at like airports, right?
Yeah. There's one guy who's looking for his family.
Oh, interesting.
I don't remember if he was like adopted or something, but he was like looking for his family, and I don't know if he did. He might. I don't remember if he found them or not, but they were really helpful. And
Oh, nice.
you know, if there's a small chance, you should pursue that for sure, because that would be really cool if you actually found.
Well, you know what's funny is I kind of have the same kind of thing too. I would love to find out because my great grandfather had a brother still living in Kyushu.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking he probably has like relatives there. But the funny thing is my wife is like, I don't know if you should go find these people because if they're poor, they might ask you for money. Like, oh, that's a good point.
Or you know, there's a lot of Yakuza in Kyushu too, so
that's a good connection, man. That's a good connection.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Not if they're poor.
Brad, if they're Yakuza and they're older, chances are they're not poor.
They could be younger and poor though.
Yeah, if you find a younger one, then that's when you oh wait, I made a mistake. That's when you start to backpedal. All right.
But yeah, so I work at the city hall here. So one of my coworkers there is really fluent in English. So he told me, you know, he said if you want to look into it, our city hall can contact the one in Hiroshima, and so we can try to help you.
Yeah,
so.
You already have a contact right there.
Yeah. So I'm really excited, but we'll have to wait till the Rona's over, of course. But
wait, you teach English at the city hall, or is this a different job?
So I'm what they call a municipal teacher. So basically, my office is at the city hall, and that's my base of operations, I guess. But they send me out to basically whatever schools in town want an English teacher on a rotating basis. So I have 5 base schools that I go to every week, and then I rotate through a bunch of other elementary schools in the area. So I'm kind of like the one town English teacher that just goes everywhere. So I don't really have a base school. I'm just get sent wherever they want.
You're like
teacher,
floating.
So. Basically, yeah. So I'm always out on my bike or on the bus or something.
Oh, okay. Traveling all over the place. But that's nice. You get to see lots of different places, right?
Yeah, it's fun. The only problem is I have so many students that every time I see a kid in public, we kind of side eye each other and I wait to see if they'll wave first. I can't remember if they're my student.
Man, you should just whenever I do that, I just like, hey, what's up? I've
done that a few times, and usually it's the
Jiro?
one time that they're not my student and they just look at me like, who are you?
Okay, that you'll never see them again. Either way, you win.
True.
All right, let's man, that was a nice tangent. Next one. Spam musubi or sake onigiri? Or shake?
Spam musubi.
Hey, all right. That's a true Hilo girl right there.
Yep.
This was Jamie's one. Japanese barbecue or Hawaii barbecue?
That's a hard one.
Jamie, you're about to give me $5.
Wait till our answer. Wait till our answer comes, all right?
See, the one thing I miss here is we don't get nice steaks usually.
Yes,
really
that's what I was thinking about.
The food.
So, yeah. So,
how about like the Twinkie?
Yeah, that's. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm gonna say Hawaii.
Yeah,
Hawaii
see the answer. I knew the answer was coming. Kampai.
Yes.
Yeah, kampai.
Actually, yeah. Me too, Hawaii. It's not so much about. I mean, it is the steak. I do miss the steak.
It is.
Is there a Costco near you? Because Costco sells some good steak. I usually go there for steak.
There's one, but it's out of the way, so I usually have to wait and see if one of my friends is going, and I can hitch a ride with them. But yeah, and the Costco near here has poke too. So like Hawaiian, it
Oh,
says on the
really?
package Hawaiian poke.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you buy it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
bought
yeah.
it, but I had to fix it because it was wrong.
Yeah.
That was,
Yep.
that was
Too
not
bland,
poke.
a little bit
I don't
too
know what
bland,
that
yeah.
was. Yeah, it was really bland.
It was poke, not poke.
Yep.
Nah.
It was
poke,
pokey,
poke.
right?
That's one
Pokey.
of the things
Yeah,
I
pokey.
buy when I go back to Hawaii is Hawaiian salt. I always have Hawaiian
Oh,
salt
yeah.
here.
That's the secret, dude. That's the secret. That Hawaiian salt is like
Right.
almost like I would say 80% of the flavor.
Man, Hawaiian salt. And the other 20% is aloha shoyu. I have
Yeah.
aloha shoyu too. Aloha shoyu. That's the thing. I think that's the secret to making good poke is aloha shoyu. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think so. Yeah.
Japanese shoyu is just too strong.
Yeah.
But from what I heard, I heard sashimi shoyu is less salty,
close?
so that might be a good alternate if you can get some
Mhm.
sashimi shoyu.
All I know is
Yeah.
if they brought that Japanese shoyu and they replaced aloha shoyu with in Hawaii, I think like they would kill most of the people, dude. That just like that sugar, the salt shock would just kill people, man.
Man, you can't. I made some Hawaii dishes with Japanese shoyu when I first moved here. That fucker was salty. It was so salty. Oh my god. And
I tried to make the kind oh sorry.
Go.
Hey,
What-
no worry, use the slang.
I tried to make the kind like the spicy ahi poke.
Yeah.
So I got a bottle of the sriracha sauce here, but I looked at it and on the label it says like very popular in Hawaii and like all this blurb on the back and I was like, "Oh yes." But then I looked at the label and it said like Japan sriracha, like the made in Japan version. I was like,
what?
okay. So it's like I don't know what to think. Like it says popular in Hawaii, but it says like the Japan edition.
Was that
Advertising.
like-
less flavor?
It was like ketchup. I was so pissed when I came home to
What?
make the poke. It was so not spicy. So I took a video of me spraying it in my mouth and I sent it to my mom and said, "This stuff sucks. They don't know how to make hot sauce."
So they wow.
Yeah, you can drink it. It's not spicy.
Have you been
You
to
can
like
drink it?
Kaldi or Jupiter when you were in Sapporo? I don't know if that's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
Japan thing.
Yeah,
But
there's a bunch down here too.
Yeah, their sriracha is the regular kind.
Yeah, I
don't
go
know.
there sometimes for like
For
coffee.
twice as much the
or-
money.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's expensive, but I buy it anyway because it's gonna last for a few months.
Yeah.
So I
Alright.
actually have some good questions for you. So they're kind of interconnected, I guess. So being from Hawaii, this is a good the culture shock kind of thing. What surprised you about coming to Japan? What things surprised you? And then also, what differences do you see in Hokkaido versus Kyushu?
Oh.
So what things about the first question, like what surprised you about coming from Hawaii to Japan? Like what things just like blew your mind or just like really like tripped you out?
Yeah, the first thing you took a Instagram story of.
I think I remember two things that I thought were really interesting. I don't really know if you call them culture or more like a big city thing, but
Yeah.
I was shocked at how fast people moved. Like when I first came to Hokkaido, even the obachans were outrunning me on the sidewalks, and I felt so dumb because I
Bruh.
just was getting in everybody's way. Yeah,
Don't sleep
like
on
a
the
slow walk.
Oba-chan, man. They cut in. I hate Oba-chan. I push them, man. I push them. I'm not ashamed. I push them. And if you're angry, fuck off. Because I used to open the door. I used to hold it open. And they just fucking keep coming. They don't give you a
You
chance
open
to
the
go
faucet,
in.
right? The water flows
Yeah.
through.
Exactly. And then when you're standing in line and the door opens, they come in front of you anyway. Like they feel like they have an entitlement. And it pisses me off. Fuck you, old
They do,
Japanese
they do.
people, grandmas. All right.
But yeah,
I feel so much better now. Okay. Yes.
venting.
Why?
So I was shocked at how fast people moved. And I thought it was hilarious that everything talked. Like the ATM talks to you, the ticket machine anywhere talks to you, like even the ambulance. I thought it was so cute the first time I heard an ambulance because it sounds different from the ones in the US, the siren.
Yeah.
And then while it's going, you just hear this recorded lady's voice like, the emergency vehicle is turning right. Please make way. It's like,
oh my God, so you sound just like wow. Wait, so they have an automated one in the one you heard? Didn't you hear the megaphone?
Some of them I've heard the megaphone or the pre-recorded one. I've heard both of them.
Yeah.
And then also like delivery trucks and stuff too. It depends. I mean, I don't hear them as much here because it's really, really Inaka, but yeah, so that was kind of interesting. And then, you know, going to the ATM and like trying to put it in English mode, and then it's blasting in English. Like it's like everybody knows you're a Gaijin and you're just like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
They do that on purpose. It's like an alert.
Gaijin here. Gaijin here. Gaijin koko ni
hide your numbers. Hide your numbers.
And it's always the same message. It's like, was it? The display information will be displayed in English. Really loud. It's like, oh my God.
Like, no, fuck around. I push English, bitch. Yeah, I know. Or that the ATM when I push English. Oh, wait. No, go ahead.
Sorry. The other thing that scared me was the salespeople that when you walk in the door, they scream, "Irashaimase!" It scared me half to death all the time. It scared me so much.
Hey, Jamie, didn't you post a meme? You posted that meme recently, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you're in the same meme group, or
yeah?
Or
no, I posted it on my Facebook.
Oh, okay, I stole your meme. That's what happened.
Nice.
You guys have a meme group? What is this?
There's there's a Jets meme group.
Oh.
Nice.
Which is fun, but a lot of it's people that are like all butthurt about like culture shock and like a kind of
they kind of adapt
way that's like how would I explain
why can't Japanese people just eat Western food? And why can't they shake my hand? Like that?
How would I explain it? It's like the thing that a Hawaii person would see someone like that in Hawaii and go, oh, they're not gonna last here.
Oh,
like that kind of feeling. Yeah.
Why do you guys eat rice so much? I don't like that raw fish.
Yeah.
Man, Konishi gave us the best advice for that. He's like, you're in Japan, live like a Japanese. Or it's something along those lines. But it's pretty much
enjoy it while you're here, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Gave you a lot
in
of
Rome,
credit.
right? When in Rome.
Yeah, when in Rome.
So what about the differences between Hokkaido and Kyushu? What do you see differences? That's a pretty good question to ask.
Again, it's kind of silly, but people walk a lot slower here.
They're more chill, yeah?
They are. I think again, part of it's a big city versus countryside thing. Yeah. Because people in my town remind me so much. It reminds me so much of Hilo. It even looks like Hilo. Really? We're in like a little port city, and there's like a lot of older buildings and everything. So it looks like walking through downtown Hilo. But
where are you? But I'm sorry, we forgot to ask. Where are you located right now?
So I'm in Buzen City in Fukuoka. So like on the northern, like the northeastern side of Fukuoka.
How far from the airport?
I think the nearest one is like about an hour or so.
The main, not the main airport, the main Fukuoka airport.
So there's the Kita Kyushu airport that's like an hour, and then the main Fukuoka one is like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. But I'm like right near where Kyushu joins, like right the nearest point between Kyushu and Honshu. So like right in that area.
Oh, nice. So you're actually kind of close to Ganryu Island then.
Yeah, pretty close.
Oh, that's cool. That's one of my places I want to go.
Is that the man-made island? What is Ganryu Island?
That's where Musashi Miyamoto fought Sasaki Kojiro.
So that's not the man-made coal mining island. because that's where I want to go.
It's the island where the famous duel of two samurai fought, and like
Wait, is
supposedly
the-
Musashi killed.
Is the coal island the one that's like a ghost town, like from?
Yeah, where it was like
Oh,
booming back in the day, and then now it's empty. I think it's a ghost town.
Yeah, I really want to go there too. I've heard about it. It sounds
Is that
really
near
cool.
you?
It's pretty close. I mean, it's not super close. It would be, well, I'm in the Inaka, so, but pretty close. Yeah. Pretty
What's
close.
the population in your town right now? What's the population of it?
Oh, it is. I forget now. It's bigger than Hilo. It's bigger than Hilo, but it's
Hilo-
really spread out, so it doesn't feel very big.
Okay.
It's
Like
like
Hilo's-
it's spread all over the place. Yeah.
I think Hilo, last time I checked, I'm sure it's different now. It's about 50,000, 60,000 people or something.
That's a good
Yeah.
amount of people.
Let me double check what my current town's one is.
Your camera's down and out.
Yeah, it looks like the Zoom one stopped spinning, so I think I have to like redo the Zoom thing. Maybe you have to like cancel the Zoom thing out and I come back in or something.
Oh, okay.
know-
I was wrong. The latest numbers for my town is like 26,000, 27,000.
Oh, okay.
Half of Hilo.
But
then.
Yeah.
But we're like spread all over the place. So
Oh, nice.
Sup-Sapporo Dosanko life. Alright, let's go!
that's
And-
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, Hokkaido and Kyushu, you talked about some interesting stuff there. So like let me see what else questions we have here. So what do you think about Japan now that you've lived here for a while and you're no longer probably in a, everyone goes through the honeymoon phase, right? Where they're kind of like,
Mhm.
Japan is awesome and everything is great about this place. So what's your thoughts about Japan now? Surely you've been here for a couple of years.
I guess I have some mixed feelings about it because being when I was here studying, I was here for a year. So I got to see most of my friends and classmates go through a lot of culture shock and come to the other side and all that. And for me, it was a kind of weird experience because everyone told me to watch out for that and that it was going to be really tough. And it just kind of never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, language shock, yes.
Yeah.
The first year was so frustrating because it takes me a long time to pick up languages, so I couldn't understand what anybody was saying. And now I'm not fluent, but I can at least converse with people. And have like a pretty basic conversation that's, as long as we're not like talking politics or science or something that has a lot of vocab I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess part of me is like wondering if or when culture shock is supposed to hit, but another part of me is just really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Just as it is. So I don't know. I really like it here. I could see myself living here permanently, maybe. So I may do that actually. I guess the main thing that my opinion has changed a bit on, is I kind of, just the little things like, noticing how annoying like the government is here, just like back home, or like
Yes.
more like everyday stuff and like just stupid bureaucracy and all that. That's really annoying.
But like here, there's no young activists. All the activists are like almost ready to die.
That's true. That's true. I guess that's another thing is people are so like they're not very outspoken.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of group mentality here, right? So I mean, you're part of the kind of group, right?
The
collective,
senpai
right?
kohai taught too.
Yeah. I guess probably the easiest way I could explain my feeling of that is my sister lives on the East Coast in the US, and she said, I really like it here because people are just straight with you. If they don't like you, they'll tell you to your face. It's like you always know where you stand. And I told her, well, I kind of like it better where it's like, if someone is pissed at me, they're not going to bother me. So it's like, it's kind of like, I kind of like not having confrontation.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot, but yeah, the lack of activism is, there's some things that could definitely improve. Like, for example, I really love it here. I'd love to live here, but one example is like, I don't have as many rights here as I do back home.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like for someone like me, I don't have the right to get married and have kids because I'm not straight. So, that's a big thing to think about, is like, I do think that things are changing though. I mean, I know that rights have taken a huge jump just in the past year. So I'm fully expecting like gay marriage and all that to be legal here within the next 5 years or so.
Well, actually,
maybe.
Sapporo is actually the first place in Japan to legalize gay marriage.
Yeah, I heard that. They had civil unions, right?
Yes.
I think they might have done that when I was there because I remember hearing about it.
It was only probably like 2 years ago or something like that. It was actually very recent. It's the first place to allow that, which is pretty progressive for Japan. Japan's a very, as you know, is a very old place. It's hard. Change is very hard here. So I mean, the fact that they did that was a huge step.
My friend is gay and he's married. He lives in Osaka, but he did have to get married out of the country, and then they moved back. Not moved back because they're living here. They came back. Like, they got married out of the country. They came back, and they had a shitload of paperwork to do. So there's a workaround, but it's mendokusai. It's very troublesome. I didn't know about the Sapporo thing.
That's also if you're like, if you marry someone that's also from another country where it's legal, right? Like back home.
Oh, does it have that?
Yeah. So like if I wanted to marry someone here, I'm not up. So that is something.
But you're from Hawaii, right? So couldn't they do that? Like, you do
but
the
the other
Hawaii
person has to be
thing?
from Hawaii, right?
No.
Yeah,
Like, she's from Hawaii.
Yeah. So so if I'm dating someone who's from here, like, we could have a ceremony in Hawaii, but they are not. Like, it's not a legally binding thing because they're from a country where it's not legal. So, yeah. So if I married someone else from Hawaii and we had a legal ceremony there and moved here, then it would be legal. But if I was with someone from here, then they're not allowed to. So,
like a Japanese person.
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's complicated. It's annoying.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, the civil unions thing it's spreading really fast. I don't know how many, maybe like 20, 30 cities in the time since I've moved here.
Yeah, especially with like Twitter.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like it's going to be one of those patchwork things because it's Japan, it's like one city does it and then another city does it, and like one by one.
And they kind of follow American politics anyway. So it kind of depends who's in office in America. It could speed it up or slow it down. But either way, it's going to get there. Just if you want it faster, it depends who's in office. Yeah.
Slow.
Slow.
Yeah, Japan is slow to change. Like, they just decided to possibly, take out the honko, right? But that's going to take years and years and years, right?
I saw
we still got faxes here. How do you take out the honko? The fuck out.
For real.
But you know what? It doesn't matter. I lost my train of thought. Go on.
You know the beer. The other swig of beer, dude.
I do. I had a really good point, but we'll never see it. So let's move on.
So actually, I have another question for you, and of course, if you don't want to talk about it, it's perfectly fine. So, how is it dating as a gay person in Japan for yourself? How is it? Is it very difficult? Is it all right? I mean, how is it?
Wait! I remembered. Okay, remember that part.
Okay,
you just gotta wait. You wait like 10 years, and all the fucking people will die in office. And it'll change. All right. That's what
Slowly
I wanted to say.
True, but they live so long here. No.
Yeah, they do. That's more like 20 years, 30 years.
15, 20 max. I mean,
Well, yeah,
all right.
the things are getting better though, so I'm
Yeah,
not.
you just
I'm
gotta
not
wait
too
for
worried.
people
It's not
to
like I'm
die.
in a rush.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, they'll die. I mean, it's a dying society, so we got this. All right.
True.
Sorry. Jamie, take it.
No. So
Okay,
yeah.
what did you ask
So
again?
no. So how is it dating here? You know, being a gay person dating in Japan,
Oh,
and how is your experience, and how is it, you know, just in general?
um. Well, one thing is I don't have experience dating back in the U.S.
Ah.
Because I wasn't out at the time to my
Oh,
family.
okay.
So I'm out to some now, not all of them. If you're seeing this, hi, surprise! You
Oh.
you could have known since I was 5. Look
I
at
king
me.
knew since I was 5.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't really know how it's different from the US, I guess, but
Oh, okay.
it's interesting here because people don't, of course they don't come out and say it usually.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you gotta, like, mostly the best way to even locate other people, especially in the countryside, is with apps, dating apps.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you kind of got to figure out which one people are using. Like, you know,
Tinder.
there's like well, there's ones like that, or like there's common ones, but there aren't very many gay people on there. And I think the reason is that they're afraid one of their straight friends will see them on there and
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that what they put. But if you
And
can
the
find like
stigma.
yeah.
Mm.
So if you can find like a specific gay app, then there's a ton of people on there.
Don't
More
name
than
it.
I would admit.
Don't name it.
Yeah.
Let's keep that
Yeah,
a
don't name
secret.
But yeah, so there are people, you just kind of have to figure out where to find, like, where the community is.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty low key, and also because everyone's so serious with their jobs and everything, it's very I
Deathly
feel like it's a
serious.
very different, yeah. It's kind of like, I feel like it's probably a very different experience than in the US, I would guess.
Yeah.
Because it's very common to
Yeah.
be like, oh, I'm working this weekend, so I don't have time to call you, and you know, and I don't mind because I'm very introverted and I'm very busy, so that suits me perfectly fine. But I think a lot of people would be really frustrated with it. So,
Sure.
Out of curiosity, is your sister extroverted in your opinion?
my sister,
Yeah.
she's she's definitely more outgoing than me, but she can also be very quiet too.
No, I just
but
find
think,
it interesting that
Yeah.
she likes it on the East Coast because my cousin lives there and he hates it because of what you said. Like they're just
very direct.
Yeah, like what he said is they're just a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
It's all perspective though. It's all perspective, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta
Yeah.
kind of get used to it because they don't mean to be assholes. It's just the way it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she is more outgoing. I think with my family, it's been interesting seeing like how each of us has grown up and how we're each picking and choosing like what things we like from each culture.
Yeah.
So I think I'm the one that identifies most strongly with the Asian half. So most
Except
of my other
math.
siblings, yeah, except math. I'm so low with math. I cannot.
Me too. I completely understand your situation there. Me and math get along like nitroglycerin and driving a 4x4 or something.
What the hell is this, bro? The odds are
drive.
We got 3 Asians here, and we're all bad at math. What are the odds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I was good at math, I probably wouldn't be doing this podcast. I'd be like doing some like I'd probably be at a Harvard or something right now. You know.
Yeah.
D Harvard.
Yeah.
D Harvard.
Yeah, D Harvard.
Right.
Well, that's cool. So, like, let me see. Any other questions here? So, actually, where would you like to live? I mean, you've traveled a decent amount of places in Japan. What places do you like? What's at the top of your list, or what places? Where would you like to stay if you stayed in Japan?
Definitely somewhere up north.
Oh yeah.
Really?
So if not
Cool
Hokkaido,
weather.
then yeah, for sure. If not Hokkaido, then at least on the northern end of Honshu, most ideally. I mean, I really love it down here. Like, just I love that it's really chill and relaxed down in Kyushu, but also the weather is just really hard. And the
93% is fucking crazy. Yeah, typhoon too.
Nuts.
Yeah, during typhoon season, we get like 1 or 2 typhoons a week, and it's after a while it's kind of nerve-wracking. So so the weather's the main thing.
Yeah, you guys get hit by major stuff down there too, man. Like typhoon,
Hokkaido shield.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like the nice thing, the one thing I do like about Sapporo and Hokkaido in general is it's pretty immune to like weather situation. We get blizzards over here, and that big earthquake that happened 2 years, was it last year, 2 years ago or something?
Mm-hmm.
But in general, we're pretty shielded from extreme weather situation, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, for sure.
So you would like I think it would be easier to not easier, but there might be more people that's open here in Hokkaido seems to be like the most open place in Japan just because of the lack of history, and a lot of people moved from mainland Honshu to Hokkaido. And like I heard even like women smoking is kind of still hidden in Honshu, Kyushu, like in the south. I didn't know this, but in Hokkaido they just openly smoke everywhere. And then if you do a count, there's more people openly smoking here than in south. I mean, it's not necessarily good, but it shows like the ideology, like the idea.
There's probably people here doing it too, but they hide. They hide, but they don't hide here. And then that's why they have a divorce rate, because fuck those Japanese husbands, right?
lazy dickheads.
I'm gonna have a lot of people that hate me. I can see why my fucking Irish friend hates me. I must have been such an asshole to him.
Your Irish friend hates you?
No, my Irish friend's friend.
Oh, okay.
He met me one time when I was just like completely drunk, and
that explains it right there.
That guy does not want to play games with me anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. So do you play like any games, or what's your otaku feel like?
I'm not much of an otaku, to be honest. I have like Animal Crossing and what do you call it? That latest, the Super Mario Odyssey, and that's it as far as games.
Anime?
Not really, to be honest. And I feel bad because my kids are really into it, and they ask me about it all the time because they know, ALTs always like anime, and I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sorry.
So you're not into the Kimetsu hype?
No. I've been meaning to watch it though, because my kids keep bugging me about it and saying how it's great, and like, you need to see it.
I know how you feel, because for me, I'm old, and then I'm more into the martial arts stuff. So if I mention anime, it's from like the late 1970s or early 80s, and they're like, what kind of or it's
Racer,
martial arts,
or Astro Boy, or
Jamie, we're pretty much the same, you and I.
Yeah.
We're pretty much the same, you and I, Jamie. You're not old.
What are you talking about? I'm way fucking older than you, dude.
Bro, you're not even 2 cycles older than me. We're pretty much the same.
What are you talking about? I'm fucking a cycle older than your ass.
Yeah, that's why I said you're not even 2 cycles.
So, Anayah, how old are you, by the way?
I am 26.
26.
Oh, young blood.
Shit. Damn, I'm 20 years older than you.
How old were you when you were fighting the pig?
I was 15 or 16, I think.
Oh, it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Just 10 years ago, you're fighting a pig.
Damn. I know, right? Who'd think I'd be
That's
here
why
now?
Hilo girls are rugged. That's part of a ritual thing. They fight pigs when they're 15.
They don't have wild pig there in Kyushu?
They do, but I've never seen any. but some of my kids will say like, "Oh yeah, my uncle goes hunting and stuff."
Yeah.
So I
With
told them
what?
my pig story,
Like
and
a
they thought it was
slingshot?
hilarious.
What do they hunt with? Like really?
I think usually guns. I think usually guns.
Yeah, but
So that-
you can get a gun, but you have to take some like
Oh, it's
some
fucking
crazy
hard.
tests. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they check on you a lot. Like they check the bullets and everything. Like
Really? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, it's crazy. The way they do it here, it's so strict. Well, it makes sense because you said you were in the country, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming here feels like a whole different Japan because it's just so rural, I guess.
Yeah.
Like just culturally, the dialect. The dialect is something else. I'm still trying to understand people.
Oh, so actually that leads into a good question. So because you're in the Inaka and you're in Kyushu right now,
Mhm.
how was it being accepted over there? How was your when you go there, and how did people treat you, and how were you accepted over there?
So far it's been super welcoming.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Part of it though, I think, is my predecessor is from Hilo, and
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, his predecessor was from Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
So when I came here, my coworkers told me, "Oh, yeah, we have our town has like a long-standing tradition that we always ask for specifically Hilo people from Hawaii."
Really?
So they kind of, it's like it's already a really established connection. So I think people kind of just naturally see me as like, "Oh yeah," like kind of like an honorary family member almost. So
Oh, that's so wonderful. That's
yeah.
so cool. Like there's a unwritten tradition of having a Hilo ALT kind of like fit right in, so they kind of know what to expect and kind of know basically about
Yeah.
basic culture.
Yeah. And then another really cool thing is so my city hall once a year has a homestay program with a school in Hilo,
Yeah.
St. Joseph.
Really?
Yeah.
St. Joseph?
So, and
is that the white church? What is Saint Joseph?
St.
Yeah, I think
Joseph
there's
is a Catholic school in Hilo.
So what is the white
actually-
church then? How far is the white church from Saint Joseph?
The Catholic
And
church is probably like 2 minutes. No, 1 minute.
yeah, like 1 minute.
It's where my parents got like married like
Yeah.
40 something years ago.
I was about to crack a Catholic joke, but I'll let it be. All right.
But yeah, so once a year, well, this year we had to cancel because the Rona, but so once a year they send kids to Hilo, so I get to work with them. Like we have a preparation class and all that. So it's kind of like a thing, like, they'll have an ALT from Hilo to tell them like, this is where you
that's
should
so
get Shima
cool.
Ace.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to any of the students when they came back?
I did. And some of them are my regular students that I teach year round also. So
So what did they find interesting, or what did they like about going to Hilo?
one thing that they all said they loved was just that people were so friendly, and that they got to go to the beach and like do a lot of active stuff. A lot
Do
of
they
them
carry a
were
machete?
really, I wish
the
I
real
bet they would
local.
love it.
That should be your first lesson. When you go to Hilo, go to the general store and buy a machete. Carry it in your back pocket, just in case
Take this.
there's a pig.
You'll need it.
Just in case.
There might be a
Just in
pig
case.
waiting for you, man.
You never
Survival.
know.
You never know, man. You never know. Hilo's pretty naka.
Yeah.
But a funny thing is that when I was in college, I was applying to internships, and I actually got accepted for an internship at St. Joseph. But I
Really?
had to, so things changed and I couldn't take it after all. But I was supposed to be working with kids from Japan that they had on a homestay program.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I moved here, and my coworker said, "Oh, we're preparing the kids to go to Hilo, so can you help?" Come to find out, when I was in Hilo, the internship that I almost did but I couldn't was the other end of the one they have here. So I ended up with
Whoa.
the same kids either way. Yeah, it's interesting.
Wow.
Whoa, that's so cool. Yeah, it's funny. My mom went to St. Joe. My auntie went to St. Joe. My cousins went to St. Joe. Yeah. Long-standing tradition on my mom's side of the family, actually.
Yeah.
St. Joe. Oh, I'm holding back so bad. All right.
What's the joke? What's the joke?
I don't know, but
just bust it out already. It's holding you in. None of us.
I can't do it.
My mom was Catholic, but I'm not Catholic, so it's
I have
all right.
a 3-second span. If I don't let it out at the time it's coming out, I forgot it.
Good times. All right, good times.
The next time I'll just let it out. I'm not gonna hold back.
Cool. All right, good times. Well, yeah, thank you for coming tonight. It was super wonderful to have you on. Let's bring you back. Let's go. Let's do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure, anytime.
Please come on.
Yeah, I've had fun. And if you ever want to do topical ones too, for asking questions about teaching here or things like that, then I'd be glad to talk on something too if you'd like. Or just a story, whatever.
A focused one.
Yes, I can put on my suit back here and
Cape. Yeah, you're gonna leave. You have to send me a list of bullet notes because Jamie can probably keep a topic, but it's more difficult for me. My mind's all over the place.
Alcohol in him. He's into veer off in directions unknown to
I don't know what's wrong with my mind, but
alcohol.
No, but I think this all the time. It's just with alcohol, it just comes out instead of keeping it in.
Right. So thank you, Anayah. Let's peace out. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll see you next
for having
time.
me.
Hit subscribe, everybody. Let's talk to you next time.
Yeah, man. And if you have any questions, leave a comment, bitches.
Yeah, let's do that.